Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, this is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I'm at Heroes Park and look what I got. I've got the DJI Air 3, got it back from DJI's repair service, and this will be the first flight since I got it back, so I'm pretty excited. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask, okay, what's this first flight going to be? You going to do some obstacle avoidance? Well, we might try a little bit of APAS and OA on this flight, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video Waypoint mission. So, obviously, Black Friday was yesterday, a lot of shoppers out. I was just over at the Costco that's over here to fuel up my Tahoe. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. But it didn't seem like it was all that busy. I mean, not any more busy than it would be on a normal Saturday. Now, it's about roughly 3:45, something like that. The sun is really low in the sky. We are literally an hour and a half away from sundown. But of course, the winter sun, always this time of year, is pretty low in the sky. So we're going to be going into the sun, and you're going to see some long shadows and so forth. But you know what? Enough jibber jabber. You're probably wanting to see this drone fly. Let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Okay, got the drone fired up and ready to go, and I've started a screen recording. I also hooked it up Wi-Fi to my iPhone, just for giggles here, to make sure we have an internet connection on the for the controller. You know, this controller went into repair, so I want to make sure that it has maps loaded, etc. Let's get that attitude indicator up there in the bottom left. That's my favorite. I typically use that instead of a map. I like the functionality of the attitude indicator. Let's take a look at the safety menu real quick. So we are in bypass mode, normal. I had some people asking me questions about Nifty mode. Let me click on Nifty mode real quick to show you what that is. So when controlling the aircraft via control sticks, Nifty bypassing is enabled. The aircraft avoids obstacles with a more subtle attitude change and flies more smoothly, but there are more collision risks. So that's what that does. It, in theory, gives you a more cinematic view. So I'm going to hit cancel. I want to stay in normal. But again, I had people ask me about that, so I wanted to show. And then return to home altitude. We've already got it set at 30 meters. That's perfect for what we're doing here. Max altitude at 120. That's good. And as far as calibrations, it's not asking for any. Compass is normal, IMU is normal. We can take a look at the battery, but that's going to look good. 7 cycles on this battery. All the cells look good, so no reason for us not to fly. So let's see. Yeah, we might as well shoot in 4K 60, huh? Let's go ahead and do that. And we're on the wide angle 1x lens. So I'm going to start recording now. And let's take off. Take off. Hey, okay. Good to have this big dog in the air again. And we're looking right into the sun, but you know, this drone handles it well. I don't see a whole lot of lens flare or anything. What are we going to do now? We're gonna do our droning now. Typically, I bring it in, you know, shut off OA and bring it in and look at the gimbal, but I'm not going to do that this time. Let's go ahead and do our droning. Reverse and up now. And we're going right between a couple of trees here. Still a few leaves on those trees, but again, we're looking into the sun. And I'm dropping that camera down. I see I do not have grid lines enabled. I typically do that. So you know what? We're going to stop right now. I'm going to go into the camera mode, camera menu, and I am going to enable grid lines. So I do them all. All of those are on right now. And I also I need... Yeah, we don't need the frame guide. We do the histogram. That's what I was looking for. Let's get the histogram on. Okay, so, boy, you can see that histogram. What you're looking for, that's your exposure. You're looking for a mountain in the middle, really, but we're looking into the sun, so it's kind of freaking it out a little bit, and we're probably a little bit overexposed on the high end. But let's quit messing around here. Let's. I told you we would do a Waypoint mission, and let's get that done. So off on the far left of the screen, you're going to see a little squiggly line. I'm going to click on that. I like pre-flying the mission first. I found that works well for me, and obviously I'm going to hit the well, not obviously, I'm going to hit the plus sign here, and that's going to set us up a waypoint, and we're going to move on to the next one. Now, let's click on the 3 dots. Yeah, that's where it's going to tell me the global speed, and I want to move that up. I want it to move fairly quickly. Let's go on up about 8 meters per second, and return to home at the end of the flight, and starts at waypoint 1. Oh, and I see there you can change the camera. So I was wondering about that. That's where you can change the camera. I was thinking about that on this mission. So we're going to see if we can change that halfway through the mission. And I think I would have to click on that particular waypoint to do that. But let's head over to the next waypoint right over the top of us, and we're going to cross the street over here. This is 10 Mile, and we're going to take it straight across the street. So we're going to hit another waypoint, and then I'm going to go full stick forward across the street. And boy, this drone flies just as smoothly as I remembered. DJI drones they're just such a pleasure to fly. If you fly a lot of other stuff like I do, you'll understand that. So we're going to go further on out here. We're going to go out behind the Walmart. Let's see. Let's drop the camera down here so you can see a little bit of that. We're going to set another waypoint, and then we're going to pick the camera back up. And the drone should do that then when it runs its mission. And yeah, you know, usually the street here, this is a dead-end street. Usually there's a lot of trucks parked at the end of that, because truckers need a place to park often, and that's a good spot to do it. So let's set another waypoint there. And then let's go off to the corner of the field here. And by the way, connection-wise, I want to tell you, I am facing directly the opposite direction of the drone. My back is to the drone right now, and I'm holding up the controller, and we still have a great signal. That will tell you how awesome OcuSync 4 is. It is amazing. So let's we're going to turn around here and come back. And I'm going to take you over and show you what I saw at Costco. So let's set another waypoint there. And off we go here. And this is a little community park in front of us here. Let's go over the top of that. Maybe we can take a peek down at their little lake. So when I say a community park, it's a park that is owned by the subdivision. So it's not like it's a city park or anything. And boy, a bunch of ducks just flew in there, or geese. I couldn't tell from where I'm at here. So let's head up here back to towards Keith Bird Park. So I can actually go for a ways here, I think, before we worry about setting another waypoint. 83% battery, so we're still in good shape. And again, I'm going to set that waypoint right as soon as we get over Keith Bird Park up here. You can create a waypoint mission on the map if you wish. I like pre-flying it, and one of the things with the battery times that we have with these drones now, and I'll just drop the camera down here as we get to the kind of the play area and so forth of Keith Bird Park. And there's nobody there. That's kind of surprising. Or I see one car parked there. Let's go back out over the over 55 community here. And on the right there is Costco, but I'm going to go across Chinden Boulevard, and we're going to go sideways and look at the at Costco, and we'll kind of take a look at it. So as I'm interested to see how this will get handled when the drone actually flies the mission. So we are across Chinden Boulevard here. Let's set another waypoint. Move around, and boy, it's kind of weird. I'm getting signal now. I'm pointed directly at the. I got a little weak signal, which is kind of interesting, because I'm pointed right at the drone now, whereas I had my back to it earlier. Okay, we got signal back. I don't know what that was. That was a dead zone or something. So we're going to set another waypoint. Yeah, we got full signal back. It was kind of weird as I turned there. I don't know if it was just changing the aspects of the antenna or what it was. And let's do another one here. And let's see, I don't know. I'm going to click on the individual waypoint. Yeah, waypoint 12. I wonder if I can't. There's a bunch of things at the bottom. So, you can start recording. You can do all that stuff. We're going to leave it at global speed. What I'm wondering is, yeah, so I can change the zoom. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take us to, 3x zoom. Now, will that switch cameras, or will that just crop in on the main sensor? I don't know. So we're going to do that on that waypoint. So let's go back and go back, and let's keep moving sideways here. And that should just be for that waypoint. So let's see what happens on the next ones here. Set another one right there. And we're down. We're getting down on battery. That we ought to. We better think about getting back here and starting this mission. We're at 74% battery. Of course, when it flies it won't be messing around as long. Let's right here, and then let's just move forward and come on back to us. One more, and let's look down at the golf course here. You can see somebody on the green there. One more there, and then as we come back, and let's just hit full tilt and bring this guy back to us. Then we'll start the mission. Picking up that camera a little bit. Let's give it another. And shoot, I'll just I'll make the last waypoint right in front of us here, and then we'll start this thing. So again, I better get it in gear. We're down to about 72% battery. Should be plenty, but we're covering a fair amount of territory on this waypoint mission. So yeah, Yeah, it says the duration, well, you know, we should have plenty of battery. It says the duration of the mission so far is 6 minutes 45 seconds. And of course that's going to increase when I set this next waypoint. So let's set one right there. And then I'm going to bring the drone down lower. And I'm going to set another waypoint right there. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and execute the mission. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. And we have the global speed set. Yeah, there's starting at waypoint 1. Let's click go. And it's starting, and we've already got recording going. So, and it'll give us a timer here. Yeah, it's going back to the to spot number 1. Or it tells me it's telling me that's 2 of 18. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what no, this is 1 of 18. Okay, very good. There we go. So now it's starting. And it says it's going to take about 8.5 minutes to fly the whole mission. So so we'll just watch it. Boy, look at the reflection we got off the pond there. We had a little bit of lens flare there with reflection off the pond. It's interesting to see, because I remember I turned the drone to look at the field. It's interesting to see how when it flies the mission, how it changes its orientation. And as I recall on this next one, we actually at one point looked down at the well, this was a cornfield down here, or maize or whatever. Doesn't look like he's going to harvest it. I don't know. That'll probably just get plowed under. But yeah, so it is dropping the camera down now. Remember, we dropped the camera down right here. And as it gets past this waypoint, it should pick it back up. And it does. We'll see that camera gradually raise back up as we head for the corner of the field over there, behind the Mega Walmart that's off on the left there. Anybody that watches my channel has seen that Walmart before. You know, things like, I love messing around with the intelligent flight modes. And this waypoint situation is one of them. I never was a big waypoint guy, but messing around with it on this DJI drone is something, because it does it so cinematically. It actually, you know, it moves the gimbal probably more cinematically than I could do it manually. It's fun to set up these missions and just see how the drone kind of gradually moves and makes really slow moves. You don't get those big yaws that, you know, often you do. You over yaw sometimes when you're flying manually, etc. Just like right there, that was a very smooth move as we turned over this to the into this subdivision there. And as I recall, we're going to go back over their little park. And I think, I believe I turned the camera down when we got over their pond out here. And look how it just gradually brings it around. I just think that looks really cool. Really cool. Does a great job. And then the other thing is, yeah, and there's those, and I can't tell by looking at this to see if those are ducks or geese. Yeah, those must be ducks. They're too small to be geese. I just can't tell. Yeah, those got to be ducks. Can't tell easily enough looking. And boy, look at the reflection of those trees in the pond. Is that a cool shot or what? Oh, that was awesome. But in any case, I was going to talk about battery power. So 60% battery is where we're at here. So we're going to have plenty of battery to fly this mission. So this is great. And global speed, again, we're moving at about 8 meters per second now. We're looking, I wish I'd have had the, I should have pointed the camera up, because now we're kind of looking down, but, or I should have added another waypoint with the camera looking up there, because I would have liked to look more at the horizon than what we did there, but live and learn. And I don't know, kind of gives you guys a look at some of the houses. By the way, all those houses, they weren't there 3 years ago or 2 years ago, or some of them even a year ago. And then, as I recall here, yeah, I had set the camera to look down. That's what it did. It dropped the camera down because I'd set the camera to look down at the play structures here. And now for the next waypoint, it should pick it back up. And this community right here, it just magically appeared over about a year and a half. It's a 55 plus community. You can see how some of those are kind of duplexes and some of them are standalone. I think you'd call those patio homes. It's kind of cool how they have the alleys with the garages in back, so there's no cars parked out front. Everything's kind of parked in back. But I don't know. They're still building there. I had to go in and just for the fun of it, check on prices there sometime just to see how expensive those are. I've often wondered about that. This area, like the rest of the country, is we have experienced some pretty steep housing prices going up. And yeah, in that same spot, I'm getting signal interference again. Where I had it when I set this up, it's clear into the red. There is something there that is really overpowering, and it's coming back now. But something about that particular spot really interfered with the signal. Any rate, so here you see it starting to zoom in. Now this is cool. So this is what I wanted it to do as it was going to that next waypoint. So you could kind of see, and it passed that waypoint, so now it's zooming back out. That's awesome. I love that, because I wanted to kind of show you a close-up of how busy Costco was. Not terribly busy, as you can see. And we're still at 53% battery, so for cripe's sakes, we got plenty of flight time. And I've been screen recording for over almost 22 minutes. Hey, so there's the Costco gas pumps right there. We're just going by them. So I just filled up my Tahoe. So over the Thanksgiving holiday, my wife and I went to a little town in Idaho called Rupert, Idaho, for Thanksgiving. And so all in all, it was about a 375-mile round trip between fill-ups. I had filled up at that Costco before we left, and then just now, before this flight. And I timed it. I took my Tahoe, it was saying low fuel, it needed it. So it took me less than 5 minutes to fuel it up. From the time I got out of my driver's seat to fuel the thing up, took a little over 22 gallons, and then getting back in the vehicle and leaving, less than 5 minutes. Well, that's awesome. And I would be all in on electric vehicles, but the problem is with electric vehicles is, you'd be sitting there probably, I don't know, if you could even get that kind of range. I don't think you could. You'd probably have to charge twice, and it would be at least a half an hour each charge. In other words, it's just tough for me to, and the other thing is even finding a place to charge. It's something that's got to be solved before we can be all in on electric vehicles. Like I said, I like the idea of electric cars. I think it makes a lot of sense. but just from the average driver, I'm just not sure why you would do that. So here we are. There, we're at our last Waypoint mission here, and it just, yeah, now it's going to return to home. We'll cancel that here. You see you see it rising up to, well, however high it thinks needs to go. We still got 47% battery, so I'm going to, let's see if, as soon as it drops it, yeah, so, you know, I'm sure it would probably find, it's going to zoom in on the pad, but I'm going to cancel. And I am getting out of the Waypoint mode there. I just clicked on those squiggly lines, and I'm going to click, I don't need to save that, I'm going to exit without saving. So in other words, that's the opportunity I had to save that mission if I wanted to fly that exact mission again. But in any case, let's pick up this camera and let's fly around with this drone a little bit. And because I haven't flown it for a while, and I want to do that. So this may be a little bit longer flight than what I may have originally intended, but yeah, there's nobody in the park here today. Let's get this guy down low. This is cool. We're less than a meter off of the turf here. Boy, would I laugh if a dog came up and look, you can see, if you look right in the center of the screen, you can see the shadow of the drone. Is that cool or what? That's what you get when you got the sun so low in the sky. Let's pick this guy up. Let's not tempt fate of some dog running out there and grabbing the drone. You know, off in the distance over here, let's grab some altitude. There is, you know me, I can't resist a good cell phone tower. Now, this one looks like it's right next to the highway, so I'm not gonna do a full orbit around it, but I think we can do a little bit of an orbit. So that's pretty clear that that's on this guy's private property. I wonder how much the cell phone company pays him to have that tower there. And look at all the antenna on that tower. Boy, there's a bunch of them there. Yeah, there's a lot of antennas on that guy. We can get in closer. Let's get in a little bit closer. And again, I'm not going to go over Chinden Boulevard there, but I just kind of always wanted to get a look at this tower. Man, there's a ton of antennas on there. You got to wonder if every wireless provider in the country has dibs on one of those antennas on that tower. And there's the golf course across the street there that we had just flown over a while back. Let's go ahead and bring this guy back to us here. I'm going to throw it in sport mode. And remember, again, in sport mode you have no obstacle avoidance, so remember that. I just want to see, let's see how fast we can get this guy going. There's 20 meters per second. Let's see if we can get up to 21. We're close, 20.8, 20.9, very briefly there. 20, yeah, there's 21. So that is about 47, 48 miles per hour. So yeah, let's just do a high-speed pass here right over the top of us. And yeah, there. So you saw me. Discretion is the better part of valor. I picked up some altitude there. Again, you don't have any obstacle avoidance in sport mode. So you always want to remember that. Okie dokie, let's switch this guy back into normal. Well, if I can do it. My fingers are a little bit cold there, so I kind of messed around with that switch a little bit. But let's bring this guy back to us, and I'm going to show you a little bit of we have to mess around with the obstacle avoidance just a little bit on this guy. So now let's just bring it right towards my truck here. And it just flew right over the top. I don't think I was that high. Let's turn it around. So this is the first time I've messed with obstacle avoidance on this guy since and now you can see the chimes. So we're definitely low enough now. I'm looking at it. In fact, I'm going to turn on the Action 2 camera so that you can see it. I shut the Action 2 camera off. It's on again now, so you'll see the drone go by here. And let's go right towards the truck. And it just goes up and over. So there's a way for you. Like I said, I might be a little bit gun shy now after you know, that last situation. So now, you know, it's got the downward sensors going off. Let's go against the truck this direction and look at it move around. Look at it move around the front and up and over. So I'm going to try it one more direction here. Back it up here. Let's go at the front of the vehicle. Let's drop it down. Oh, speaking of the front of the vehicle, you see the front of my Tahoe there. Speaking of electronics and sensors, let me back it off here a little bit so we don't get so much jingling going on. But what I wanted to tell you is, when I was coming back from eastern Idaho, that whole front of my car was completely covered with about a 2-inch thick layer of ice. So it shut off, it shut down all the sensors on the front of the truck. So adaptive cruise control was not available. It was kind of interesting to see that phenomenon. And of course, the truck gave me plenty of warning. It said, hey, I can't see, so make sure you know what you're doing. And but anyway, I just thought that was an interesting little first time I've had that much ice. So let's move forward with the drone and look at it just come right over the top, and then right over the top of the tailgates open. So, okay, I'm starting to get my confidence back here a little bit, guys. Here's the ultimate test. Yeah, goes right around me. Fly the drone right over your head here. Let's see how much battery. We're down to 24% battery. No point in getting too carried away. Right over the top of me. Okay, there's one more thing I want to try and do before we land this guy. So, I'm going to point the camera down here. I want to get right over the pond here. I want you guys to see the pond. That's a reflective surface if I ever saw one. So one of the things that I have seen with the Mini 4 Pro and this drone is that I cannot reduce an altitude when I'm over water. So let's back this guy up a little bit more, and I'm gonna push it forward and try and drop down. No, this guy's letting me drop down. Yeah, no. Okay, this isn't a good place to test that, and I'm not about to see if I can you know, test those downward sensors. So anyway, I got another idea here. Let's do our return to home. And let's give the drone an obstacle to figure out how to get around on its return to home. So let's go over here on the other side of the restrooms over here.
Battery level is low.
Yeah, it's wanting to come home right now.
Return to the home point in 10 seconds.
I'm going to cancel because we're really close to home, so we don't need to get too worried about that. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this I'm going to put the restroom here between us and the drone, and then I'm going to hit return to home, and let's see it navigate its way over the top.
Return to home.
And you'll see, yeah, and it just did that immediately, didn't it? Yeah, and it's just going up. So I guess I didn't have it exactly between us, but you get the idea. So let's see if we can get a precision landing. We've got the Action 2 camera looking, and we'll wait for the drone to drop its camera down here, which you can see that tunnel going straight down. Boom, drops the camera. Let's see how close it gets. We've been messing around a lot. You can see the drone shadow there getting bigger. Yeah, and it's not going to get a precision landing, but it's going to be fine landing where it's at. It picks up the camera. So there we are. Boom, on the ground with 16% or 15% battery left, and we did a ton of flying. We've been the screen recorder's been on for about 35 minutes, or 35 minutes. Okay, got that camera pointed up. Let me get everything shut down, and we will do a quick conclusion. Hey, okie dokie. Man, I had a lot of fun just then, as if you couldn't tell, flying the very, very capable DJI Air 3. So happy to have this drone back. Now I realize it's not the exact drone that I sent back to DJI for repair. However, it feels like an old friend taking it out and flying it here. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I just think the waypoints, I love a lot of the intelligent flight modes. Waypoints, particularly the video waypoints there, they just work so well, and they're so smooth, and you get such cinematic shots. Now the mistake I made is when I set the one waypoint where I had the camera looking down at Keith Bird Park, and it ended up pointing the camera down over that whole subdivision. So live and learn, right? You learn those things as you go. But anyway, you just got a little bit of look at the territory the day after Black Friday, after Thanksgiving. And yeah, we messed around a little bit with OA too. And yeah, I was a little bit tentative, right? I think I've earned that. So anyway, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure did. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. And most of all, I so appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, when you get a blue sky day like we got today, even though it's cold outside, get out and fly. The DJI Air 3, just an amazing piece of technology. See you guys later.